Let's see. This is on. Can y'all hear me? I think I just hit the noise cancellation. Hold on. I got way out of whack. Let me adjust this real quick. Alright, that's not bad. Maybe I'll put that down a little bit more. How's everybody doing today? Alright, I have 2 more joints to tear down to make these quartz snail adapters. Basically, if I took this atomizer out, after this was done, I cut a slit in this, stick this in here, and now I could put a quartz snail in there, heat it up with a torch or with one of those e-nails, like a disorderly conduct, and then boom, low, boom, dab. How's everybody doing today? Where y'all coming from? Alright. Gonna get started real soon, y'all. Just gonna make sure all my tools are ready. After I tear down these banger adapters, the next step is going to be bending this 10 mil joint for the whip connect. You had seen, if you watched my last live, I polished the tip on a milky blue whip connect oak. Dude, this keeps going out of whack, this remote. Sorry about that, everybody. This is what I'm working with right now. All right. Turning on the torch. Side. First thing we're gonna do is warm this up in the Bunsen. I don't know what the temperature is like by you, but here in Virginia, where I live, it's like the 30s. And I can't really wear baggy clothing or like super thick clothes while I'm working. So I have to stack up the Under Armour sometimes, you know, or like that Amazon version of it. There are definitely positives and negatives to having your own garage, studio setup. Let me know if you've never seen my setup before, and if you're interested in it. Like, interested in seeing my setup. Dude, what is going on with this camera, bro? It's like I'm looking down at the lathe, so I have no idea that this keeps happening. I'm gonna have to edit that out. Sorry about that. Dang. Alright. Let's see if that's better. Sorry about that. I didn't even realize. Back on track at least. So this is borosilicate COE33. You're seeing me warm up this glass in my Bunsen right now. I think we're ready to tear it down. This was a prefabricated joint. It's a German joint. Cymax. Adjusting my flames. I'm using tweezers in one hand for this because if I accidentally pull this tube off of this tool, I don't want to have it slinging around. I want to keep it firm and attached to the tool. This is the second stage of the torch. Just adjusting my flames real quick. Keep hitting that knob with my tweezers. Get my blow hose ready. All right. Let me notice if you see what I'm doing. Can you see me puff when I puff? That's the question. You saw that? See that? Look. That's puffing. If I used that piece of glass again without smacking off that scrap, it would have cracked and like flew everywhere. I'm puffing out, or not really puffing, but like breathing and pushing it while I'm pulling. So I don't want to just tug. So if I'm pushing it out while I'm pulling, it's like a less of a tug. And I could see this is sliding off the tool a little bit. And I'm just gonna tap it. All right. Put the torch back to the bottom. Good, it looks like the camera did not move. All right. Let's pick away a little bit more. Any of y'all have any interesting topics to talk about today? What's on your mind? What are you thinking about? Someone start a topic. Let's see what everybody's thinking about it. All right. Got to see if this fits the measurements. Warm this up just a little bit. Alright, seems to fit the minimum. Just make sure it's not too big. I am going to be cutting that and polishing it, so I think it should be fine. So let's just go ahead. Boom. Right off. That's how that's supposed to happen. Alright, in the oven it goes. Now time to do the last one. Everybody still with me? How's everybody doing today? What's up? What's up? Alright, I'm gonna just light this away from it for a second so I can check on our camera angle behind me. Alright, boom. Alright. Can y'all hear me? Can everybody hear me right now? Is this thing working? Can't tell. I think it's on. Let me know real quick. What up, everybody? What up, bro? What up, Rye? What up, T? What up, The Problem? All of y'all chill. Come on, Finest, relax. Alright, thank you, Cody. That's all I wanted to know, man. Alright. So, I don't know if you saw in the last video. Can you see my oven over there? I don't know if you could see the tool sticking out of that crack. But that was this tool that we're working with right now. I am honestly excited to see what these shots look like trying to use this camera. I don't know what's going on with it. This is the second day I've had it, you know, so thanks for bearing with me while I experiment with it. This is the Hohem M7. This is not like a paid sponsorship, but the reason why I got this one is because it has this detachable remote. So instead of standing up on my lathe to try to like manually tweak the angles with the gooseneck and, you know, shaking the crud out of it and maybe making y'all nauseous. I don't know if you've seen the other lives, what you've thought of it. This way it's a lot smoother. But that thing keeps going all out of whack. I'll figure it out though. So again, I'm just warming this up right now. It's really cold in Virginia in my garage, and I don't want the glass to crack when I start working on it. Appreciate some thumbs up, by the way, some likes, some subscribes, you know. Let me know what you would like to see me working on, what to do next. I don't know if you heard, if you're just tapping in, but I'm also gonna bend some joints like this. You're gonna see me bend into a J shape. Call it the J bend. Why? Because it's shaped like a J. All right, who's ready for this? Smash some thumbs if you're ready for this. All right. Oop. Chuck this down here. And I know I need to take the phone down at some point and do a video of like what my lathe looks like for all concerned parties. Tap. Real light. Right? And let's start melting that edge, folks. Where y'all coming from right now? Where's everybody coming from? Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Wiping off my graphite paddle. Closing this joint by paddling it flat, right? And holding my joint over here while I'm going to be picking away because I don't want to just rip this off of that joint holder. So, taking my punty and I'm going to pick at it like twirling. All right, who's with me? Smash some thumbs, show me some love, help me monetize this page. Can you see me puffing? Can you see the tube collapse when I put heat to it? And then now watch, so you see it collapse and thicken, collapse, and now watch me puff. So that's what I'm doing with this mouthpiece. I'm blowing air through that tool into this joint. Can y'all hear me? Can you please, I want people to let me know. Let me know if you hear me. Let me know if this mic is working right now. Let's go a little more. All right, all right, all right. All right. Polish. All right. Now let's take the calipers to it. Hey, Kentucky, what up? What up, Nick? What up, Matt? What up, Cody? Derpa, IKZ, Michael, Lon, Diana. What up, yo? How's everybody doing today? Let's see if this meets the minimum dimensions, which is going to be like 22.1 millimeters. And I don't want it to be too thick or it's not gonna fit in that. Let's see, let's move this. All right, that's stuck there for now. All right, that could be thicker. So let's puff that out a little bit. All right, well, I figured out how to turn the remote back on. I thought the gimbal had power down and it's not. The remote just goes inactive. All right. Trick learned. Is this your first time watching? Let me know. I was holding my paddle in place because I still needed to spin straight and be flat. You know, I don't need it getting all wonky and wobbly if I start puffing at it over there. Let me just get this bit right here real quick. Just make sure the bottom is flat again. All right, let's check it one more time. Let's see what's good. Warm up the calipers so I don't crack the glass. Stop the lathe so I don't scratch the glass. And it is still a little skinny, folks. Still a little skinny. Now, there's a pretty decent chance this is gonna be stuck to the tool because I'm heating over in this area. I probably should have just heated this section up more the first time and really just puffed a bit harder. I just didn't want to get all deformed. So let's puff while the torch is there. All right, that has to be good. That's probably too good. I probably need to tone that back down a bit, to be honest. All right. Dang, again this thing shut down? I'm gonna say you know, taking the torch away and putting it back can crack certain things. You need to hit it with like the Bunsen first. Just try to focus this flame, make it a little bit more needle point, kind of precise in the back end. Just focus that point right there. All right, I'm not gonna even check. This is done. Finito. You can hear by the tapping the noise if it's loose or if it's stuck on there, and I think that sounded loose to me. What up, yeah? What up, what up? All right. Now, walking this over to my oven. And I'm just gonna put this in here like that. All right. Now what we're gonna do, first thing I'm gonna do is move that camera back to us. All right, there we go. Hold on, hold on, hold on. All right, I think that's good. So first thing I'm gonna do is clean off my punties and the scrap off of my punties, scoring them, hitting them into my smash bucket. So I have to make a 10 male J-bend joint. So I have my 10 male, so that was a female joint holder, right? So that joint, this tool went inside of the glass. This glass is going inside of the tool. So first I'm actually, you know what, let's set this up. Just some propane in it, right? Some soot. All right, this way it doesn't stick. All right, so I'm gonna put this in here like so. Tap, tap, not too hard. You're not smashing that in there because you don't want it to be stuck in there, especially because I want to bend another one. I'm gonna take out my Bunsen to warm it up, and this is gonna be kind of a gentle process. Oh, so I need to take this down, the phone down at some point to show you my machine. So like right here, right, this whole bar is just a smooth bar with nothing to grab onto anything. So when I'm leaning down, right, and this sweatshirt, it might look baggy, but it's really not. When I lean down, the only thing that's gonna happen is oil is gonna wipe off on my shirt. Sorry, I know I just moved position. Hold on, let me remote that real quick for y'all. This bar right here, the only thing that's gonna happen is if I even get close to that, right, if I really was touching against that, is I'm just gonna get grease and oil on my shirt. It's not a drag you type of experience. When it comes to over on this end, like I'm not wearing anything with like buttons that would fly in here and get hooked in these crevices, so it's not happening. Over here, also nothing to drag you. And even this bump right here, the only thing that's likely to happen, and this is really just if you're not paying attention, right? That's kind of close. Like I don't have that much glass left. Like let's say it's really expensive glass, so I want to milk every last inch of it. So I only have a little bit left, so I want to get as close as possible. So I could only get to this without actually hitting my torch. And I'm obviously not hitting my torch, so your spatial awareness could really start there. But if you're not paying attention, and let's say I'm here, it's hitting my knuckle. Like I'm not getting close enough ever to this. There's fire, like you're not ever getting close enough for anything like that to happen. So really the most danger you're in is like, let's say I turn this Bunsen burner off, right? And I walk away, maybe I have like a sesh real quick or something, and I forgot that I was just using it for a long time, and I go to move it and my hand accidentally touches it and like I get a little, you know. Or if I'm scoring glass, I don't know if you saw me there, right? So I'm scoring and I'm snapping. If it snaps in a funny way, you know, and maybe you cut your finger, but like those are really like, that's the danger. So if like the hope is that maybe, or not hope, but like the idea is maybe you could catch that, like that might happen. It's really not a thing. I mean, even stepping on glass, like I don't know how many, let me know in the comments, how many of y'all have ever been to like a glass blowing studio where it's like kind of like this and people making like rigs or bongs or all that type. A lot of people don't even wear shoes. Can you hear me now? Yo, let me know if you can hear me. Yo, alright. I looked at my computer real quick and I just missed a phone call. That's why. I think somebody tried to call me. Alright. Alright, gravity is gonna start. Right? Y'all see that so far? And I'm doing this with no air. Alright, so I think I want the bend to be like there, right? Alright, smash some buttons, like, subscribe. Boom. Let's just pull this out a little bit, and then I think we're gonna be good with this. Pulling up a little bit. Boom. Alright. Put this in the oven. Boom. Alright, turn this remote back on. Hold on. Give me just a second. There we go. You know what? I think my gimbal might have died. Hold on. Let me see. Let me try plugging this in real quick. All right. Let me end this and check it out, and I'll start another one a little bit later. I appreciate everybody tapping in with me today. Do me a favor, smash that like, subscribe, show me some love, yo. Catch you all in a little bit.